Hey guys, back again with another story, and this time we have the story Bounce. Bounce. Bounce starts with the same letter as ball. That is a big B. And we have this silly little dog, and he is bouncing on this big red ball. I wonder what is going to happen in this story about a dog and a big red ball. So, just like our other stories, we have some words that I want you to listen for in the story. We have the word bunny. Bunny. Bunny is like a rabbit. It's a small rabbit. It's a baby rabbit. A baby rabbit is called a bunny. We also have the word beach ball. And we talked about a beach ball several different times last week and this week when we read the story Have a Ball. A beach ball is a ball that you blow up with air that's very light and can move very fast across the sand in the air. Then we have the word ballerina. A ballerina is someone that dances, and a ballerina dances on the tip of her toes or his toes. Then we have the word puddle. When it rains outside and the water collects into a puddle, a lot of times we like to jump in those puddles and we get all wet, get our clothes wet. Sometimes they're muddy puddles like on Peppa Pig, and sometimes they are just water from the rain. Then our last word is roller skates. Roller skates is something that you wear on your feet. They look like shoes, but at the bottom of your shoes they have wheels, and the wheels roll when you walk or you move. So you kind of have to glide. You roll on the roller skates. So listen for those words. Those words again are bunny, beach ball, ballerina, puddle, or roller skates. So here's our book, Bounce. And we have a picture of the dog. It shows these little dots show that he was bouncing. He was like, bounce. So when you see on the picture these little dots, that shows them bouncing. So it says, come on, let's bounce like a bunny. There's our bunny. He has two long ears and he has feet that are good for bouncing. Hip, hop, bouncing like a bunny. Do you guys know what these are? It grows, it's a vegetable, and bunnies, they like to eat this. It is called a cabbage. So they're hopping over the cabbage. They're bouncing, they're hip hop bouncing over the cabbage. Let's bounce like a frog. Kerplunk, kerplunk. So the frog, he bounces into the water where he makes a splash. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's all right. I'll bounce to the left if you bounce to the right. So here are the ballerinas. They have on a ballerina outfit that has a tutu, a little dance. Then they have their ballerina shoes that helps their toes to point. Bees bounce in the daytime. So you can see that they're bouncing from the flowers. And bats bounce in the night. Ooh, look at them bat eyes. Ooh, they're bouncing all around. You can bounce a ball right off of your head. So he's bouncing a volleyball right off of his head. Or bounce it off of your toes. Of your toes. What kind of ball is that? We talked about that ball a couple of times. Yes, that is a soccer ball. They're playing soccer. can bounce a beach ball on the tip of my nose. Can you? So he's got the beach ball at the beach because we got sand, we got the sand bucket and the sand shovels. And look at this animal. This is a seal. And a seal, they like to balance things on their nose. They love to balance the ball on his nose. If you bounce into a puddle, it's best to bounce in boots. Why do we think it's best to bounce in boots? Well, if we had our regular shoes on and we bounced into a wet puddle, our shoes and our socks and our feet can get very wet. But with the boots being made out of rubber and being very tall, they keep the water out of our feet and our socks. They keep us dry. If you must bounce in the market, it's best not to bounce in fruit. Because if we look at the fruit, we see that a lot of these fruits are shaped like balls. So they can bounce and they can roll everywhere. And that is not good. Bouncing with your best friend is called a bouncing couple. A bouncing double. So they're bouncing double. Bouncing on the couch is called big bouncing trouble. Oh no, they fell off the couch. They must have bounced so high. It's hard to bounce in roller skates. See his roller skates? They got wheels on them. They look like shoes or boots with wheels. It's fun to bounce on poles. So he's bouncing on a pogo stick. If hippos bounced from place to place, imagine all the holes. If bouncing in the sun gets hot, bounce back into the shade. If bouncing makes you thirsty, bounce yourself to some lemonade. Yummy lemonade. A bounce can turn into a bump. Uh-oh, he bounced so high off the bed he hit his head. You see he hit his head? A bump can turn into a fall. Oh no, he fell to the floor. But it's better to have bounced and bumped to never have bounced at all. So look, he bounced and he bumped so much that he got hurt. So he's got band-aids on his nose, he got band-aids on his ear, he got band-aids on his belly and on his legs, on his tail. He did a lot of bouncing all around. So that was our story, Bounce. In this story, it talked about all different things that this dog did. And this dog is our character. He is the character of our story. The story is about this dog who likes to bounce. So let's think. What are ways that this character bounced in the story? I want you to think of some, and I'm going to think of some too. Let's see. Well, he did bounce on a pogo stick. He bounced up and down on a pogo stick. He bounced to the left and to the right like ballerinas. And he bounced on the couch with his friend and they did a double bounce. And then in this story, there were some balls. There were some balls in the story, like the big red ball we saw here. And do you remember seeing any other kinds of balls or things that were shaped as balls in the story? Let me see. Well, he did kick a soccer ball. And he did go to the market where there was a lot of fruit and the fruit went everywhere. So what did you see? What balls did you see in the story? Thank you guys for joining me for story time today. See you later.